Since returning from the pandemic, there's this phenomenon that I'm increasingly noticing that I'm calling the plight of the modern school administrator. And here's how it goes. Today's school administrators, they know the research that I've been talking about here. You're already with me. You know that you can't punish kids into being good. You've heard that PBIS and restorative practices are great systems to put into place to address school behavior issues, but you've actually rarely seen it done well. But in your hearts, you know that punishment is not the answer. You really believe there's a better way, but here's the problem. You face tremendous pressure from teachers and parents alike. They're demanding to see consequences or else they won't feel supported. You see, teachers and parents, they don't know the research. They just know that there's a problem, and then they lean upon their personal history in schools. Likely they went to school in the punitive environment I'm describing, like names on the board and so on. So in their mind, it worked for them, so it should work for kids today. I would argue it didn't work for them, but that's another story. So administrators often crumble under this pressure from the teachers and the parents because they don't have a decent alternative for discipline, and they don't feel like they have support from the higher-ups at the district office that would give them footing to push back and say, let's try something different. If this is you, I really don't want you to feel bad because it's nearly every principal that I talk to. The cognitive dissonance that you're experiencing when disciplining a student and you're knowing very well that they're going to continue the behavior and the teacher will continue to be frustrated, it's leaving you exhausted and burnt out. It doesn't help when you get the angry parent phone call demanding to know what you're going to do about the other kid either. Now, the plight of the modern school administrator, it's not just this cognitive dissonance that I'm describing, and it's not just the pushback from the teachers and the parents. There's also very practical time constraints to what you're actually able to do. Your current discipline system is set upon this faulty premise that somehow you can work magic in your office and then send the student back to the classroom fixed. It's literally magical thinking on the part of your teachers and your staff. Fred Jones, psychologist and classroom management guru, he says there's nothing that happens in the classroom that can be solved anywhere but in the classroom. Think about it. What are you actually supposed to do in the office that would have any impact whatsoever on what happens in the classroom? So the reason that I'm describing the plight of the modern administrator and the intense resistance from teachers and parents just now, it's not so you get more frustrated or you feel stuck. I'm talking about it because, number one, it's the elephant in the room. And I want you to know that if that's you, you're really in good company. It seems like almost every school administrator I talk to asks, how do I get my teachers and staff on board? Or my staff wants to see consequences or they won't feel supported. It's a really big problem, so you're not alone. The second reason I bring it up right now is I want to give you a suggestion to start right now moving forward. I want you to start from a place of empathy with them. Every time someone says they need to have consequences or they're asking for harsher punishments, remind yourself that they do not know a different model. They've never seen anything else. They were probably raised in a punitive school culture, and even if they say it worked for them, I would argue that it probably didn't, and that if their school had been more proactive, positive, and consistent, they wouldn't have needed to put kids in corners or names on the board. Now, in this course, we're going to start with empathy, and then we're going to add in training that's followed up by consistency and holding people accountable. I'm going to show you how. So research studies, they explain the problem, but they also offer us solutions. So we know that calm, predictable settings make kids feel safe so they can learn. We know that trusting relationships can actually heal the brain. We know through resiliency research that the one factor above nearly all others that helps a person overcome traumatic events while other people are defeated by them is having one positive adult in their life who believes in them, mentors them, and is there for them. Now, while this person can be a grandparent or a coach or a youth pastor, as luck would have it, research shows in most cases this person is a teacher or another caring adult at the child's school. The two most promising solutions to everything I've been describing are positive behavior interventions and supports, PBIS, and restorative practices. They are by far the two most widely used school climate and behavior programs in the world. And the good news is that you don't have to choose between them. You're going to need them both, and they can be integrated seamlessly. That's why you're here. So on their own, each of these programs, they're going to shape school culture, but in unison, they're going to create long-lasting, sustainable school transformation.